Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Bierbaum, and today I'm going to be talking about a very interesting topic, which is borderline personality disorder. Before I start, I'm going to give you a little preview of what I'm going to go through in this presentation. First of all, I'm going to be talking about what is actually borderline personality disorder and the symptoms of the disease. Second, I'm going to share a personal story about BPD. It is about a close friend that is actually suffering from the disease. I'm going to be talking about a great movie and some interesting articles. And finally, I'm going to give a conclusion with some interesting facts and thoughts. Okay, so first of all, what is borderline personality disorder? This is a great question to start. Well, borderline personality disorder has a main feature, and this is a great instability from the patient that is actually suffering from it. It is characterized by chaotic relationships. A patient that is suffering from this disease, it's unable to grasp reality, and it's also unable to be capable of having a normal relationship because they're always going through these fluctuations in their mood. The symptoms of BPD include identity disturbance, anger management problems, impulsivity, suicidal behavior many times, emotional instability, as I was mentioning, feelings of emptiness, selfishness, and paranoid thoughts. They're always paranoid. Now I want to share with you a little story about a close friend. Her name is Cassandra, and she was diagnosed with BPD at age 28. It was a very difficult time for her and her family because she was, all of a sudden having these weird behaviors and, having a chaotic life, and she lost her job and she crashed and ended up with her 8-year relationship. And, their family was really, really concerned about the actions that she was having in her life, and they thought that she was probably depressed. And I think that was, in her case, that wasn't very good for her because she was like that for almost 3 years without an accurate diagnosis. And well, finally, thank God, she was diagnosed with BPD at age 28, and right now she's following medication and going to therapy, and she's doing much better. But to better understand what is BPD, I'm going to be talking to you about a great movie, which is Welcome to Me. I encourage you to see it because I think that the producers did a great job with the movie. Not only because the movie itself, it's moving and it's really, nice, but also because they gave us as a public the real sensation of what is to live with borderline personality disorder. Alice, it's a young girl that suffers from the disorder, and she's selfish, and she has a chaotic life, and she's always thinking about her, and she has inappropriate behaviors. So it's a really good movie, and you should all see it if you have the chance. Well, now here is something to think about. I want you all to imagine what would it be and what would you do if you or a loved one suffered from BPD. I know it's a little scary, and I have to think about it myself, and it is pretty scary. Yet it is important to keep in mind that there's hope, there's treatment, there's a lot of things that can be done to overcome the disease. Accurate and prompt treatment, it's one of them. Medication, in some cases hospitalization, more if the person or patient is completely out of control. In a hospital, they always give you the right attention that you need. Long-term psychotherapy, it's really important with a psychologist or a psychiatrist. And most important, above all, self-help. It is really important that as a patient, you want to go and seek the treatment and get better. That is a very important point. Now I would like to invite you to read a couple of articles that for me are really interesting about BPD. The first one, it's so great peer-reviewed. And the title is Life Events and Borderline Personality, the Influence of a Gender-Environment Interaction and Environment Correlation. It is, again, a great peer reviewed by Diestel et al., in which they investigate whether the exposure of life events moderates the genetic architecture of BPD. It's really interesting. And the second article that I'm going to invite you to read, it's one of my favorites. I really love this article. The title is Living and Loving Someone with Borderline Personality by Linda Zapadin. It is a great article in which Linda explains what is to live with BPD. In conclusion, borderline personality is a mental disease that provokes a chaotic life due to the fluctuation of the mood of the patient suffering from the disease. Everyone can get the disease, yet it's important to keep in mind that the disorder usually occurs during young adulthood. Support, therapy, hospitalization, medication, and most importantly, self-help are all important things to overcome BPD. I would like to add a personal thought. Mental problems hurt. However, it is important to keep in mind that there's not such thing as impossible. And it is with the right diagnosis and the right treatment, chances to overcome a mental disease, in this case, borderline personality disorders, are really high and successful. Thank you very much for listening and have a great day.